Surely going to need a cool hand and a cool head is Scott Rand up against the big Dutchman, Raymond van Barneveld, who was good on Thursday night. Right, without further ado, in the box for this, Chris and John.
Well, Scott's going to have to be on his game because Raymond van Barneveld, in getting to this stage, really looked impressive for me, beating Ronnie Baxter 6-3 and averaging around about 105 8-1-80s to his way to getting there, back with the flights which served him so well, and looking very much like his old self.
Yes, he was impressive. 8-1-80s in 9 legs. Still not convinced, but he performs in this one. Well, then I will be.
Scott Rand playing really well and trying to move on and produce in what is only his 4th television event. Beat Jamie Caven in the first round 6-2. Gave up the game when he was 17 years old, only returned to it a couple of years ago, and goodness me, isn't he doing well? And this, I think it's not overstating it, it's the biggest game of his life.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. This is a well, not quite a career-defining moment. But I had a good chat with him before it, and he is. I mean, he comes on to cool as ice. He is cool. I said, well, you're not going to be intimidated. He said, it's just a game of darts.
He's still driving trucks. He's a lorry driver.
I think he is. I think he's planning on going full-time pro next year with hopefully with a decent bit of sponsorship and some backing.
Well, Raymond van Barneveld, see what he can do.
My problem is that type of entrance to the board is fine if you're a shorter player, but when you're above 6 foot, which Barney is, that trajectory is not ideal.
You mean because of the trajectory angle, he's lessening his options? He's got to be absolutely spot on, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that, you mean?
Yeah, because he's actually throwing down. Where if you imagine a shorter player with the darts going in at that angle, they're throwing up to the board.
What would Barney be? 6'2", 6'3"? He's a big lad, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, yeah.
41.
Well, with Scott, he uses incredibly small flights, and he's developed this dart, the length of point, the type of point, the flights are now, he had someone make a
43.
A press to knock these flights out, and they are minuscule, and it's all about controlling the arc
100.
of the dart, the way it enters, and its trueness.
Yeah. Let's take another look at Rand's darts when he throws here. It's similar, isn't it? They're similar to Phil Taylor's.
Yeah, they've almost got a similar type of entry, but Phil's does have a little wibble in it in mid-flight,
24.
where Scott's is very direct, very straight, and he was telling me that's what he's developed. He's not really been concerned about where the darts end up, just getting a dart that perfectly leaves his hand, enters the board true, and something he can
60.
replicate. He's taken quite a scientific approach to the whole thing, and I've never seen anybody throw with flights that small. I mean, that doesn't actually do them justice. They are absolutely minuscule.
140.
And it's all down to not only the way they enter the board, the fact that it doesn't obscure the target.
Well, Barney's not going to check out here, and that's going to be an opportunity for Scott Rand
45.
to take one against the darts.
Scott, you require
100. He'll have done this a million times in practice. Could go top.
Treble
He's coming
16.
down.
Brave. Not sure I would have gone that
52.
way.
Raymond, you require
Gone for the bigger
96.
target of double top. It's not exhibition stuff, that's just common sense.
Double 18 then for Van Barneveld.
Game's
It's
on
the get out of jail card.
Raymond Barneveld on double 18 was like Bob Anderson on double 16. You put your house on it.
So Van Barneveld's a fairly slow start, only averaging around about 75, but he got the dart that mattered.
98.
That's the double. Now can he strike against the throw? That's 2 in the treble 20.
140.
8 maximums we heard in that opening game against Ronnie Baxter. He was really starting to flow in that game, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's once he does get in the zone, he can quickly replicate that. If you watch him, he's not one of these type of players that really aims. He's a feel type player, and if he's in that zone, he can just replicate that throw over and over and over again.
100.
That's why he hits so many 180s when he is flying.
And probably why he finds it so difficult to take when it's just not there. There's not too many people who are more wounded by defeat than Raymond.
No, there's nothing more frustrating in the world than I used to try and say it was like having the fastest Formula 1 car in practice, and you get a tiny little misfire in the race, and you just can't work out why it's doing
140.
that.
Good again. He's on a checkout round. No way out of 178, of course. That's better. Needs another.
85.
Not there now. Big opportunity for Van Barneveld.
Yeah. His first breaker throw opportunity. Still on. Not now. He just needs to tidy it up. May go 48. Oh, he went for the ball. Yep, that's nothing wrong with
62.
that. Make sure he gets 2 darts at tops now.
93.
He should go for the ball. No, he went that. That's not keen on this. He's going to have a shot.
61.
But no.
Raymond, you require 59.
Mouth, it was nowhere near. That's what he said.
Yep. Van Barneveld 59. Tops.
Now that's awkward. Being that height, that's awkward, because now he's going to try and throw a dart
39.
down into a blocked area.
Scott, you require 32.
Not ideal.
Well, that explains in a nutshell what you were trying to get across earlier on. Because of the angle of trajectory, Van Barneveld blocked with that attempt, having missed with the first dart, and a great opportunity goes begging.
Yeah, this original type of setup was almost to mimic the Phil Taylor entry and trajectory, but Phil's much shorter than Raymond, so he almost throws the darts on top of each other. Where when you're 6'3", 6'4", you're actually throwing down. It's totally different.
126.
He's got a game on his hands yet.
Yep, well, Rand is right in there and having the early advantage, but this is more like it from Van Barneveld. 140 is fourth throw of 140 or more in the match so far.
Scott really lacks the experience to compete with Barneveld if Barney really starts to go through the gears.
Does he look a bit tense to you, Scott?
Yeah, he's not in himself, but you have to be. You know,
60.
More so if Raymond's only averaging 84, and you'd have to, you'd fancy yourself against anybody with an 84 average. So you've got to not fall into the trap of trying too hard. We've seen it with Steve Brown earlier. I literally just spoke to him before I come in the comm box and said you just got to stop trying to get involved and stop this aggression and almost trying to make a confrontation out of a match, and just save your energy in throwing 42. And keeping calm.
Which is effectively what Wadey was doing, what James Wade did. He didn't really hit the high notes, but he didn't have to.
He didn't get involved either.
That's a good last dart. That's more like it.
Yep. Break opportunity.
It is. That was a hurtful last dart so far as Van Barneveld's concerned. And Rand's going to come back, hoping they can polish it off with 59. A couple of darts.
I mean,
Scott, you require 96.
Not really a great deal of pressure on this. You've just got to make sure. Still got a chance. Oh, he's gone double 18 tops.
Oh, how about that?
That mystified me that in the previous opportunities when he's had a chance to do something similar, he's not gone that way, and in that situation was even more risky.